Here we go again with my unique skill makes me op even at level 1 episode 3. In the last episode, Ryota managed to defeat a huge gorilla, and it dropped something really mysterious. It was a gun with bullets that shouldn't even exist in this world. Ryota checks his powers after defeating the gorilla, but his skills have not increased. He's still at level 1. So, he decided to enter the Nihonium dungeon to enhance his skills by defeating more monsters. While exploring the dungeon, a zombie faces him, so he grabs the gun and uses it to shoot the zombie. To his surprise, the zombie vanished and dropped a seed, which made Ryota stronger. This confirmed that the gun was real. Encountering 3 more zombies, Ryota skillfully aimed the gun and shot them down. After that, he reloaded the gun, and the empty bullets disappeared. Ryota isn't sure how to get new bullets, so he decided to use them sparingly until he could figure it out. In Telolo dungeon, Emily was trying to catch a slime but missed. Ryota comes to the rescue, shooting the slime with his new gun. Emily is surprised and impressed by his new weapon. Ryota told her that thanks to this gun, his strength rank had increased to B. On lunch, they kept 2 carrots for Eve, the rabbit girl who was supposed to come, but she hadn't shown up yet. Still, Ryota appreciated Emily's delicious cooking. She offered him some tea, and they discussed going to the 3rd level of the dungeon to see what they could find there. On the 3rd level of the dungeon, the monsters are called cockroach slimes, and when defeated, they drop pumpkins. Ryota is getting tired of fighting these slimes, but it turns out they're similar to cockroaches. Emily smashes them really hard with her hammer, and Ryota tells her she doesn't need to hit them so forcefully. But Emily responds with a scary face, saying that if she doesn't, the tragedy will spread even more. This frightens Ryota, and he suggests they go collect more carrots instead. On their way out, more cockroaches appear, and Emily starts to go crazy again, transforming into a scary version of herself. Ryota uses his gun to stop the cockroach slimes and keep Emily from losing control. After defeating all the cockroach slimes, they have a lot of pumpkins, too many to carry. Emily gives a scary look again, suggesting they wait for the monsters to respawn so they can carry more pumpkins. This scares Ryota, but fortunately, Eve shows up and asks for her daily carrots, saving them from the situation. Eve helps them carry the pumpkins out of the dungeon. They sell the pumpkins they were able to carry and promise to return with more. When they come back for the remaining pumpkins, they find them eaten. Ryota thinks an animal might have attacked them, and Emily becomes scary again, smashing the pumpkins with her hammer, which makes the cockroach slimes appear. Ryota is surprised and tries to shoot them with his gun, but he runs out of bullets. He can't let Emily lose control, so he uses his shoe to squash the little monsters until they're all defeated. Emily apologizes for her behavior, assuring Ryota that she doesn't mean it or have control over it. Ryota tells her not to worry. Suddenly, they hear drops falling nearby and discover that bullets have spawned. Erza explains to Ryota that when drops are left unattended, monsters can spawn from them. Ryota recalls Emily mentioning the same thing earlier. Erza gathers her courage and tries to ask Ryota out, but he is preoccupied with the idea of purposely spawning strays to get more drops. Before Erza can finish her question, she sees Ryota leaving, lost in his thoughts. Ryota hides among the trees, using a carrot as bait. Eve appears and starts eating the carrot. He manages to chase her away and tries again with another carrot. This time, a slime shows up, and Ryota quickly shoots it. When the slime disappears, it leaves behind some bullets. Ryota wonders if he could use special seeds to spawn monsters outside the dungeon and decides to try it on the 1st level. In Nihoni dungeon, he defeats a monster, but when he picks up the drops, they vanish, so his plan fails. As he's about to leave the dungeon, a skeleton attacks him. Ryota hits the skeleton, sending it outside the dungeon, hoping it might turn into a stray, which is what he needs. However, the skeleton vanishes without dropping anything. Erza helps Ryota understand that monsters disappear once they leave the dungeon to prevent them from causing trouble in the city. They also vanish if they move to another level. Erza seems to have feelings for Ryota, but he doesn't notice it. He leaves again before hearing what Erza has to say. This time, Ryota comes up with a smarter plan. He waits for a skeleton to appear and then lures it out of the dungeon. He quickly grabs his gun and shoots the skeleton, and it works. The skeleton drops some bullets, but these bullets look different. When Ryota tries them on a tree, he realizes they have a freezing effect, making the object they hit freeze. In the dungeon, Emily and Ryota are hunting slimes. Ryota uses his new freezing bullets to freeze a slime, and Emily smashes it with her hammer. She's impressed with Ryota's weapon upgrade. However, Ryota explains that he won't use the freezing bullets too often because they're not easy to come by. After a long day at work, as they're heading home with today's loot, they come across a trader and a woman having an argument. It turns out the trader accidentally dropped his goods over the edge. Ryota offers to climb down and get the goods if they have a rope. But the woman stops him, warning that the goods have been there for a while and might turn into a stray, a dangerous creature. The strange woman, who turns out to be working for the trader, wants to burn the goods using her magic, but the trader stops her. He explains that he hired many adventurers to collect a special perfume, which will bring him high profits. The woman, however, cares more about protecting the city from possible strays than the goods. She blames the trader for slipping and dropping the goods down the cliff. The trader fires the woman, and there's a tense moment between them. He tries to hit her, but she dodges. He breaks a rock to split in two. Ryota and Emily are shocked by his power, but they soon learn it's not him at all. It's a monster called Femini that possesses bodies as its host. Thankfully, the woman explains the situation to them. Ryota takes out his gun and shoots 3 bullets at the Femini, making it disappear and drop more bullets. The woman asks them to take the trader away and gather a group of warriors to stop the coming stray. She's willing to hold back the Femini herself by becoming a host for it. Emily asks what will happen to her, and the woman says she'll do what she was hired to do and take responsibility no matter what happens next. Her words trigger memories for Ryota. In his past life, a coworker made a mistake that cost him 5 days of work. Ryota tried to offer help, but his coworker insisted it was his own fault. Feeling self-conscious, Ryota backed off and couldn't do much. But this time, he's determined not to back down. He insists on helping the woman, knowing that his growing abilities are meant for challenging moments like these. He loads his gun with freezing bullets and shoots the Femini monster. Emily attacks with her hammer, finishing off the monster. Luckily, everyone is safe and unharmed. The woman gratefully thanks them for their tremendous help, as they once again save the city from an attack. Emily checks her abilities on the board and realizes they've increased because of the Femini monster's defeat. She's glad to have Ryota as her companion, as she wouldn't have had the chance to increase her abilities without him. Ryota expresses the same sentiment, saying that many good things have happened to him since she came into his life. Will Ryota and Emily's friendship endure? And what will happen to Ryota's abilities? To find out, subscribe to stay updated and give a like to support them on their adventures. That's all for today's episode. You can catch up on the recaps of other episodes from the link in the description. See you in the next one.